Welcome back to Tom's Garage again, boys and girls. Thanks for joining us again this morning. Today we are going to level a deck on a John Deere. Now this will go for just about any model John Deere riding mower that's going to have this style of adjusters. It is. We're going to level this deck and I'm going to show you how to do it. John Deere specs. Oh, and one thing before you get started, the first thing you want to do is check your tire pressure. So I like to put close to 20 in the front and I like to put around 15 in the back. They say 12 and 10, whatever. I like it to get a little bit harder, that way it steers easier. So this one, just over 15, 16, 17, 18, that was right about 18. And really in the back tires is where it matters most. That's about 13. Just want to make sure they're all even before you get started doing this. That was right at 13 also, and this one is, yeah, same as the other front, about 18. Okay. So make sure all your tire pressure, your tires are pumped up, all the pressure is the same on each side, side to side. That way you're not, doing it wrong. Do that first. They say to put it on 3, put the deck height on 3. You got 4, 3, 2, 1. Put it on 3. You can do this with a simple tape measure. Pow. But I've got these little gauges here. I got 2 of them. See how you take the blades and make both blades point forward, and then you stick this under the deck and you put this just onto the tip of the blade, and it'll give you the measurement there, whatever the height is. And I've got one of these on each side. I got one there too. I put, you can use just one, or like I said, you could use just a tape measure. And what we're going to do, if it's on 3, to me it should be 3 inches, but it could be 2 1/4, 2 1/2, whatever. Just make sure they're the same. We'll put the tip of this on 3 inches, right about there. So it's 3 inches off the table, and it's 3 inches right at 3. So that tells us, I know these are 2 different gauges, but I'll show you they're the same. Put this one on 3 and measure it. Right on 3. Right on 3. Put that right on 3. And then we'll measure it. Put your head down there, you can see it nice. Yep. Both of them are accurate. Both of them are accurate. So what we'll do, don't know how well you can see that. Let me grab a flashlight. Stick a light under this deck so you can see exactly what I'm doing. See, there's the blade right there. I'll take and put that right there on the bottom of the tip of the blade, and I'll do the same with this one. The same with this one. Reach under there, find the blade. Where's the blade? There it is. Oh. Okay. Put that right on the tip. Bottom of the tip of the blade. Whew. Too early in the morning to be bent over like that. Got a little head rush. Okay. Stick my head back under there and look one more time, make sure it's where it needs to be. So right now this one is showing right at 2 1/4. And that one over there I can see through the mower. That one is pointed right at, well, that one's between 2 1/4, 1/4 and 2 1/2. So I guess that'd be right at 2 5/16 on that side. And this one is right at 2 1/4. So this side is a little bit lower, only by about a 1/8 of an inch, I guess. But John Deere specs is as long as one side is within a 1/4 inch of the other side is fine. But that's not good enough for me. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna raise this. I think it ought to be on 3. If you put the deck on 3, if you put this lever on 3, I think it ought to be 3 inches. I'll do what I do. See, you've got a lot of adjusting in here. That nut is a 15 millimeter, but I'm not gonna sit here and dig to find my, I know I've got one, but I ain't gonna waste time. I ain't gonna waste time digging for a 15 millimeter deep well. I'm just gonna grab my 5/8 spark plug socket, because it'll fit just a little bit loose, but you're not tightening that thing down. All you're doing is moving it. It ain't got a whole lot of pressure on it. It's a nylock nut. So I'll just raise this side. That's really all you got to do. It's kind of hard to get to. It'll be all right. All right, let's see what that gives us. That's about 20 1/4 turns, I would imagine. I didn't count. Now let's see what that gives us. Stick my head in there and find the, oh yeah, that raised it a lot. See, right now we're 1 notch above 2 1/2. Well, between 2 1/2 and 2 1/4. I guess that'll be a what, an 1/8? 2 1/8. Too much geometry this morning. I don't like it. Too many fractions. All right, now let's see what that gives us. Touch the bottom of the blade, and that gives us right at 2 3/4. I'm gonna go a little further. If it says 3, I believe it ought to be 3. With my hand between this cover and the deck, I can feel the deck moving. Well, my hand's between the cover and the body. I can feel it getting tighter. Alrighty, let's see what that gives us. Stick my head down there again on the blade. There it is. Yeah, we're right at 3 1/8. Now we're at 3 1/8. Let me lower it a little bit. All right, let's see what that gives us. We're still just a hair over 3. A little more, a little more. And you got to make sure when you're loosening it to lower it, You see how it's catching and it's not letting the deck fall down? Look at that gap between the nut and the adjuster. There it goes. Now, you got to make sure that thing will slide down on that threaded part. Let's see where we're at. Still a hair over 3. We're probably 3 1/16 right now. See, it's not wanting to slide down. There it goes. It'll catch on them threads. Let's see what that gives us. Well, pow, exactly 3. Exactly 3, Roy. All right, we'll go to the other side. Whew. All right, let's see where we are. Set the camera over here. There's the adjuster. Look over here, stick my head under it. And we're between 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. That's about 2 5/16. Whew. Let's see, there's the adjuster there. We'll go up on this side. Pretty good bet. On some tractors, some brands, you only have an adjuster on one side, so when you raise or lower that side, it'll equally affect this side. Not on a John Deere, because you've got 2 separate adjustments. This side will stay where it is, no matter how you adjust the other side. I got grease on me from greasing it yesterday. Let me grab a rag. Whew. Man, I got grease all over me. All right, let's see what the gauge tells us. It's kind of hard to see. Can't get my head wrapped around it. All right, I just moved it. And we are at 2 1/2. Okay. We'll put it back and keep going till we reach 3. No, I must have bumped it when I took it out. Yeah, we're at 2 3/4. I had to do it again because I evidently bumped this thing. So we're at 2 3/4. I'm going to take my white paint pen and put a little white dot on there. That thing's kind of hard to see. I'm going to color the tip of that arrow white. Now you can see it better. I put it back under there on the tip, just the tip. Okay. Technically that's good enough. 2 3/4 and 3. That's in John Deere spec, but it's not in my spec. So we're going to keep going until it's perfect. All right, let's see what that gives us. Let's see what that gives us. Push it up, find the tip. It says we're still right at 2 3/4, maybe a little less. Let me make sure I didn't bump it. Oop, missed it. We're still at 2 3/4. Let's do it some more. And whoever's the first one on this in the comments section to tell me how many times I said the word tip wins the prize. Yeah. Tip, tip, tip. Whew. That one feels a little tighter than the other side. Okay. Let's check it again. Check it again. Right. Getting there. Let's check this other side and make sure it hadn't moved. Nope. That's perfect. You know, it has made this side fall a little bit. I may be wrong about what I said earlier. This side here, it fell. I believe it did. Because now we're looking right at about between 2 3/4 and 3. So that's just really just a little bit above 2.5. Let's go check this side again. Now you got to be real careful because when you have this flat on the table, see where these two table panels are put together? This is a little bit lower than that side. So if you're over here and you try it, and it's higher right here if you try it, you got to be wary of that. Now let me stick my head back in there and see where we're at. Just a hair over 2 3/4. Let me look at this side again. And we are just a hair over 2 3/4. I'm going to call it done. That is good. Just over 2 3/4, and that one's just over 2 3/4. By golly, that's perfect. I'm going to call that perfect. All right. I have seen folks take levels and just lay across the top of the deck. I just don't know if I trust that. Which it'll probably work. It'll probably work just fine. Let's grab a level and just see. Let's see. We'll find a spot right there. No, it's not level at all. Not by the bubble. Not by that bubble. Let's go straight in from the front and look. Just hit it right there. That's a little closer. No, I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't trust a level. I would take a tape measure and measure from the blade down. That's the way I would do it. Ooh, look at there, boy. That's a big old glop of grease on the floor right there. I'm glad I saw that. Ooh. Well, all right, boys and girls. Oh, God, I'm going to stay in the house today. I don't have a whole lot to do out here, thank goodness. That's drought. Business has kind of dried up without the, you know, with the bad drought we're going through. They haven't announced a drought yet, but I know we're in a drought. It's been several weeks since we had any kind of rain. But anyway, you're not here for a weather report. Well, thanks for watching another Tom Dobie video. I'm losing my voice already. Whew, y'all be good. Y'all stay safe and stay hydrated and stay cool. Stay inside. Love y'all, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Love y'all.